Hi friends, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. Apologies for being away. Haven't had too much to report from this end lately. I appreciate your watching. It's been quite a momentous couple of weeks for everybody, for this country and the world as a whole. I feel cautiously optimistic about where we're headed. I think that the testimony of Ms. Hutchinson was significant, like a dagger. I really feel that it changed the conversation about the former president, who I will, regardless of how history treats him or sees him, or how the DOJ, Department of Justice, sees him or treats him, I will always see him as a traitor to the country, and essentially the literal embodiment of almost the worst a human being can achieve, having literally no redeemable qualities of any kind, literally acting for no one but himself at all times for his entire existence, literally no ounce of observable generosity, empathy, joy, care for any other human being other than himself. And how this unique creature came to be, I don't know that we'll ever fully understand. I don't know if it's carryover from some previous life, some sense of self that he had, that he brought to this life, a way that he thought he should be treated regardless of how he ever treated others. And so this is where we find ourselves. But even despite the awful Supreme Court decision, which might be a gift to the Democrats for the fall elections, given the temperature of the country and where people are at, and the feeling that our rights are under attack, and especially the rights of women are under attack, that Supreme Court decision and traitorous 45's actions may well be enough, as many of the psychics predict, to push the election in the Senate to the Democrats, who only need to pick up 2 seats. And that would be momentous, because the filibuster could be suspended, abortion rights could be federalized for essentially the foreseeable future. We could add to the Supreme Court to make up for the two seats that were stolen by Mitch McConnell and the Republicans. We could impose term limits on the Supreme Court, which is badly needed because those people should not be there for life. And a code of ethics could be drafted for the Supreme Court that you can't, as in the case of Clarence Thomas, your wife cannot be advocating for the overthrow of the federal government on the side while you are protecting her texts on the Supreme Court. That's not okay. You're not better than us. You're not above us. We're all equal. And yeah, that's where we're at. So if anything, I'd just like to offer, sorry, this is a handheld because my iPad is acting up. Not a very good angle. Yeah, we're at an impasse, and I think this is going to break the dam, and I do predict that the Dems will get the seats they need in the fall, and we will see really the beginning of the transformation. So when Cassidy, I believe that's her first name, Hutchinson, testified, I thought, wow, there truly are bombshells left. There truly is a beyond the pale that we hadn't seen up until that point, and it even caused that slight bit of people, that slight number of people in the middle, the moderates, to shift just enough towards the left. Not that the Democrats have been lighting up the dashboard with their actions as of late, but push them just enough left to tilt the fall election in our favor, despite whatever gerrymandering and other election hijinks are in store from the GOP, because that's their current playbook. Their current playbook, let's call it what it is fascism. It's autocracy, and they're not going to give it up until it's fully defeated. And their ties to 45, much like I believe it was Lindsey Graham who said he will be the end of us, or he will lead to the end of our party. Essentially, all of that has come true, even though they don't see it. They still think somehow they can cheat their way through, but it isn't playing like that. The last election went to Biden by historic numbers. We got the 2 seats in Georgia that gave us the control of the Senate, that at least leads to the control of the legislative agenda, even though we don't have the votes to get the rest of the legislation we want passed yet. So there have been no victories, no significant victories on the GOP side since 45 was defeated, and he is a lifetime loser. He is someone who every business venture he's ever attempted, even though he was born on third base, has failed. I mean, he's probably up to his eyeballs on debt, probably to the Russians, and the game is coming to its close. And Putin is a butcher, and he will not relent in Ukraine, but he too is destined for the scrap heap, destined for the dustbin of history, which if these guys see themselves with any honesty, which I doubt they do, I don't know how they live with it. So it can only be self-deception that allows them to be as horrible as they are. So, but if that sounds a bit somber, it's just that it's for everyone. It's been really overwhelming, but I really truly feel like we have rounded the corner now, and we're going to see some more significant dominoes fall in the favor of justice and in democracy and in truth and in love and the things which are good, as we make our way painfully into Aquarius at long last, the age of Aquarius. And to lighten things up just a little, I've been dreaming, but I haven't had any like significant dreams of note or ones that I can remember. But the only one I remember from last night is a football dream. I dreamt that our beloved Buffalo Bills here in Buffalo, New York, lost their first 2 games of the season. And people were freaking out because the Bills, if you know anything about football, are touted to potentially be Super Bowl winners this year, which is cool in one sense, but it's bad in another because that's a lot of pressure. And they have an excellent young quarterback. Josh Allen is beloved by Buffalo because he's a gamer and he plays with his heart on his sleeve, and he's so tremendously talented. It's like almost unbelievable what he can do on the field. And you know, however you feel about sports is another thing, but the city of Buffalo has a self-esteem problem, a long-lasting self-esteem problem, even though it's a pretty great place to live, I have to tell you. And a Super Bowl victory at long last after many Super Bowl defeats many years ago would be pretty monumental here. Josh Allen would probably be essentially deified if he were able to pull it off for the Bills. So it's funny that I would have a dream about them losing the first 2 games. And it's funny because I can actually even see the scoreboard in the first game where they lose by a point at the end by like a field goal. But they were playing the Philadelphia Eagles, which is funny because I don't think they play the Eagles this year. In fact, I think their first game is against the LA Rams, who are the current Super Bowl champs, but in Los Angeles, though I don't think that the Rams are as good as the Bills. But that doesn't mean that the Bills will win. And then somehow in the dream, the unexpected first loss led to a second loss, and then they had to kind of do a regroup, which kind of happens over the course of a season, football season anyway, because they're long, and very few teams can win every game. I mean, it just doesn't happen, no matter how good they are, because it's such a costly physical sport. So maybe you'll find that amusing, my Buffalo Bills dream. If the Bills lose the first 2 games of the season, I won't be happy about being right, because people here will be freaking out like I can't even tell you. So if you want to if you want to say a nice little football prayer for the Bills that they come out strong this season, that's good with me. And I'm hoping my dream is just a funny little comic relief from the universe. So, chins up, everybody. Roe v. Wade being overturned is monumental. It's a huge punch in the gut. Super painful in its regressiveness and its disregard for what women experience as a result of childbirth and the risks and the dangers associated with it, and the physical cost to women. And I think it is an abomination that they overturn it, but I feel that they have essentially gifted us the election. And if their foolishness and their cruelty and their desire to control women leads to a Democratic supermajority that puts abortion rights into law, we will all look back and say, well, I don't know if we'll all look back and say, but most will look back and say it was worth it. And so I'm hoping and trusting that Spirit has got our back on this one. That's how it feels to me. I hope it feels that way to you too. So thanks for tuning in. Stay well, and I hope to talk to you soon.